Hey, my name's Aaron, and I'm a real estate developer and a homesteader. A few years ago, I purchased raw land in northwest Montana, and since then, I've been transforming it into a home while learning lots of cool things along the way. In real estate, they say location is everything, and they aren't wrong. So in this video, I'm going to give you some context about the land that I'm working with and how that shapes the decision-making process throughout this entire endeavor. I purchased 20 acres in early 2020, so 5 years ago now. Here I am, already looking a lot younger than I am now. This is the first week where I was walking and assessing the land. So you could purchase land in various stages of development. I'm starting right at that entitled stage, which means there's very minimal infrastructure put in, but there is a subdivision. Right now I have a road that's shared amongst my neighbors, and I have a power line going through and a telecom line, and otherwise that's it. This land was originally agricultural timberland owned by Stoltz. Then it became a cattle farm, and then it got subdivided and sold off, which is when I bought it. I would consider this land to be rural and or ex-urban. It's not like I'm way out in the boonies. It's a pretty easy commute into town for work and supplies, so that makes a big difference in the development process. Let's talk climate. I'm in a zone 6B, which is cold and dry, so we get harsh winters and mild summers. The winters here are relatively harsh, and they can really mess you up. But honestly, winters are kind of awesome. And this is why. So, no matter how much snow is coming down, you can't let that stop you from living and working around this place. So let's talk about the existing life that came with the property. For the larger critters, there's bears, mountain lions, foxes, skunks, elk, deer, and sometimes the neighbor dogs that come through. The smaller creatures are ground squirrels, tree squirrels, rabbits, chipmunks, field mice, and a ton of different birds. The mountain lions are of particular concern because they have snuck up on me a couple times and they are kind of dangerous. The bears are definitely around here too, but they stay away unless there's some kind of attractant around, like garbage. The land is heavily forested with Douglas fir, larch, ponderosa pine, and Rocky Mountain maple, all in need of thinning. It took me years of forestry work to get everything cleaned out and shaped up a bit. I mainly had to do this for fire mitigation, road work, and to get a good idea of where the build sites could go. I consider myself a steward of this land, so I took this tree work very seriously, and I fretted over every single one I took out just to make sure I was doing it right. Through natural growth alone, I'm generating approximately 2 to 4 cords of firewood per year, which is enough to heat a couple structures if I insulate them correctly. The land also came with a pretty serious infestation of spotted knapweed, which is invasive and toxic to native plant species. I am slowly pulling them out by hand, but 20 acres is too much for one man to handle, so I've been looking into chemical treatments, and that has worked for my neighbors, so I'll probably be getting around to that by next spring. For now, I'm just working on the visible areas by hand. This land came with a high amount of geotechnical complexity. I am way up on a mountain, and I would consider this to be one of the largest challenges that I have to deal with. The soils are variable in both composition and depth. I have lots of exposed bedrock, clays, silts, sands, and gravels. All of this is difficult to assess from the surface. Keep in mind that soil conditions drastically affect what kind of construction you can get away with. I'll be getting into all that detail as I encounter these engineering challenges along the way. Okay, on to the first project, building a road. With the goal of being able to get my truck to the back of the property, I'm running to Tacoma with an off-road package so the road doesn't have to be that great. But first, I had to get rid of a whole bunch of trees.
That worked.
Okay, we got a rough road into the back of the property and a nicer road into the build site. The next job is to prep and clear the build site for the cabin.
Hey, you! If anything I'm doing looks interesting to you, you can comment down below or contact me here. I'm looking to network with people interested in similar things, especially if you're in the Montana area.